I bet you didn't know this, but there is a treasure chest filled with gold right underneath your home. And in this video, I'm going to help you find it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Bennett, and I'm here to share some ideas with you that have helped me move the needle just a little bit. So I hope you find them beneficial. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 different aspects of monetizing your skills. We're going to go from what it is you should monetize all the way to how to actually do it and everything else in between. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you some things that maybe you shouldn't look to monetize. Or you could just skip to the end now if you just can't wait. The first thing we're going to talk about is what you should monetize. And it really comes down to 2 different areas. The first one is certain experiences that you have, and the other one are certain skills that you have. You might not know this, but there are certain things that you are just naturally good at that there are people who are really struggling with. And if you could start to get in tune with what those things are, you might be able to come out with a framework to start teaching them. Just like you have math tutors and science tutors who just naturally understand that material better. So the same thing with certain experiences that you have. It could be something as a hobby or something you really worked hard at. So ask yourself, what is something that you're good at that maybe somebody else is not? And if you're getting stuck, a great place to go is to somebody who knows you really well. Ask them, what is something that you think that I'm good at? Or what are you known for? And by going through that, you're going to see that you have certain skills that you're going to be able to monetize. In regards to the experiences, what we have to realize is that we've been through things in our own life that we might be able to help people through it also. Whether it's something tragic like a death or a divorce, or whether it's something positive like a vacation that you once took. Understand that there are going to be people who are going to be a step or 2 behind you who want to get to where you are today. And if you could start to understand that, you're going to have such a better chance of helping those people out. And what's crazy is a lot of people are willing to pay for those specific skills. So based on your life experiences, you might be able to help people who are going through those things. This second part we're going to talk about is what it is you should monetize. So nowadays, there's so many different ways you can make money online. And there's so many amazing courses that you can watch. But here's just a few different things that you can start to do. You could come up with your own online course, which you could charge as little as $20 all the way up to a couple of $1,000s. It's usually a series of videos, and the more content that you could give and the more interaction you could get people to have, the more valuable it's going to be. So understanding that you can create something one time and have this asset to just resell can be something that can be really beneficial. And it's why a lot of people go to the next area of mini courses. A mini course is pretty much taking a bigger course and really just breaking it down in 30 to 60 minutes. And the basic idea of that is more of a lead magnet to get people to be more interested in the higher paid course. You're still giving value, but it's not going to be as much as the bigger course that you're going to be able to sell. The next place that you could look to monetize is you could really write a book. You see, nowadays, especially with Amazon, anybody could become an author in a couple of weeks. I have a whole video on how it is that you could become an author in the next 30 days, so make sure to take a look if you're interested in this avenue. Just understand when it comes to writing a book, a lot of people think that they're going to be making so much money off of it. And if that's your strategy, you're just going to have to make sure that you have the right marketing plan. It's one of those things you're going to spend a lot of time. It's going to be really cool to have afterwards, but understanding the marketing of it could be really difficult. It still might be worth it, but just take that into consideration. The last group that you can start to monetize are certain guides or podcasts or even blogs that you can come up with. You see, many times people have these different areas where they share their ideas, share their content, and they continue to get a following of different people. And you can even start charging people a monthly subscription in order to get access to that content. Other people will add Q&As or live sessions that only members are going to be able to get. But to understand that you have this opportunity can be something that can be really beneficial. And how can I forget? You could also go on YouTube and just share your videos and ideas. There can be so many different ways that you can monetize that. One of the biggest ways to monetize on YouTube is by getting a lot of subscribers. So if you've gotten any value out of this video, it literally doesn't cost you anything, and it's a huge help for me to be able to continue to make content. That's only going to help serve you back. So one small click of the button can really start to change lives. The third idea that we're going to speak about are certain fears that people might have in terms of sharing their ideas. And the number one fear that comes up with anybody who's trying to monetize their skills is imposter syndrome. You see, imposter syndrome is that feeling that you get when you don't feel like you're good enough. You don't feel like you're qualified enough to share your ideas. And there are 2 really cool frameworks that you can have that can really help you. The first thing you could do is make a disclaimer that these are just ideas that you have. They might have worked for you and they might not work for somebody else. It's one of the things that Jim Rohn talks about all the time, how we have to all be students. There's not necessarily one way that's going to work for everybody. And we're all trying to figure this thing out of life. It's one of the reasons why when I share my content, I try only sharing ideas that I personally have used because I can actually speak for them. So understanding that could be really calming for yourself, just so you're not feeling like you're leading anybody on. The second thing you want to think about is that you're only trying to help the person who's a step or 2 behind you. If you know how to play 4 chords on a guitar, you might be able to relate to somebody who doesn't know how to play anything. as opposed to a master who's been playing for years. Understanding that you're not teaching them something that's going to take them to the next level, but to just take them from where they are now to where you are. And if you could come in with that attitude, you're not coming in as a know-it-all, but it's something that's just going to be able to help you move forward with what it is that you're looking to do. I personally know that a lot of the videos that I make on my channel are things that I personally went through and things that I knew would have been helpful for me looking back at my life. So recognize that you can share different ideas based on your own personal experience and just try to help the person who is a step or two behind you. The next fear that you might have is the fear of failure. And of course, it's so scary because nobody wants to get rejected. Nobody wants to do a bad job. And there's so many different things we could talk about, and I made so many videos about the fear of failure. But to understand that we can really start to take small steps. We think sometimes that when we put ourselves out there, the whole world is going to see us. The truth is, nobody's going to really notice. And if you could start to build it up slowly, over time, you're going to be able to get that momentum to be able to help you move forward with what it is you're looking to do. So many times people have this fear of failure that holds them back from even trying. So try to figure out what is the one step that you need to make that's going to help you get on the path. And once you understand that, then you'll be able to start to move forward. And over time, you're going to see the consistency is only going to be able to help you out. The next aspect I want to talk about is why is it really important to look to monetize some of your skills? And the truth is, whether you monetize it or whether you just do it as a hobby to help other people, understand that there's so many different benefits to be able to find out what those things are. Number one is you're going to be able to figure out who it is that you truly are, your own unique self. So many people are so lost and so confused. And when you could do a deeper dive in terms of what are your passions, what are your hobbies, what are the things you're good at, you end up really cultivating a person, an individual, and you're able to become somebody. So many people are so confused in terms of what it is that they want to be doing, and they're so lost. And if you could start to just get a little bit more clarity on that, just by knowing what it is that you're going to be good at, could be something that could really help you. And that takes me to the next point. One of the best feelings is helping somebody else. And whether you're charging them for it or whether you're doing it for free, giving somebody support and the experience to help them move their life along is really so fulfilling. So understand that when it comes to the skills that you're looking for, even if it's not for you, do it for somebody else. And finally, if you're able to monetize a specific skill, understand that could be something that could really help you in terms of your own personal finances. We all know that finances is a real aspect of our lives. And if we want to do big things, money is a big impetus for that. So understanding that if we can start to work on ourselves and understand what our skills are, and we can start to charge for those skills, we'll be able to constantly be doing more with ourselves to be able to help so many more people. You can look at money as something negative, or you can look at it as an opportunity to be doing so much more with it. And now for our fifth and final aspect, when maybe you shouldn't monetize it. You see, there's been trends on YouTube where people end up quitting, and it's not just YouTube, but it's really influencers in general. Now, what's interesting is that when you hear their stories, they talk about how when they first started, it was so much fun. They were maybe doing it by themselves, or they had a small team. But as time gone on, they got burnt out from it, and they ended up turning this hobby that they had into a business. And when they turned it into a business, they ended up losing the flair that they once had. And what we have to understand is that we have the ability to take something we're passionate about, something we're good at, and look to monetize it. Although we might be able to make money and gain something from it, if you're the type of person who doesn't want to lose on to that relationship with it, maybe it might not be the best thing to monetize. I'm still a big believer in helping other people and learning how it is you could teach other people, but understand if you want to take it to the next level of monetization and you don't want it to lose its essence, perhaps it's not such a great idea to monetize. It could be something you could play around with and see how things go over time, or maybe look to monetize it later on. It could be a really big reason why you might not want to monetize. Another reason why you might not want to monetize is because you don't necessarily need the money. Depending where you are in life and depending on what you have set up for yourselves, you might just want to turn this hobby into a bigger passion of yours or a mission that you want to stand for. So understanding that can be also another reason why you might not want to monetize. And now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Bennett, this sounds awesome. I'd love to monetize my skills, but can anybody just go on something like YouTube and learn how to do the thing that I'm looking for? And the answer is, yeah, you're right. But how many times have you been offered something free and you really took advantage of it? And there's two aspects when it comes to monetizing your stuff. Number one is the more you pay, the more you pay attention. For example, if you had an actual monthly subscription to watch any YouTube video that you wanted, would you not take more advantage of YouTube? And the answer is, of course you would. But because it's free, we might not. We might not necessarily finish every video, and we might not really remember what it is that we did watch. And because of that, we have to understand when people pay money for something, they pay more attention. And the second thing that you have to offer is that you have your own experience. You have your own hand-holding that you could help those people with. How many times have we watched a video and we just want somebody to be there with us? We want them to help us do it step by step. And if you can look to do that, you can look to charge somebody, then you're going to see things are going to be a lot different when it comes to the results that they're looking to get. If you're a little bit nervous about sales, I have a video on sales, so make sure to take a look at that. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you really enjoyed this content, make sure to take a look at this next one.